Yeah, hi there. Well, this is Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. And these comments are for Yuhua. And I'm going to take a look at your specific TOEFL score report and try to do some analysis of that and then tell you what you need to do at my website to get better. Okay, first of all, if I remember correctly, your score right now is around 66 out of 100. So you want to do better. You want to score, I think, at least over 80 and even closer to 100. Okay, so your reading is intermediate level. So you're having difficulty with higher level vocabulary. You have difficulty answering questions when the vocabulary is high level and the reading passage has a lot of very dense, complex type ideas. Also, according to the score report, you're having some difficulty trying to infer meaning, especially when things are not what we call explicit or easy to infer. According to the listening, you're also at the intermediate level, so you can understand conversations and lectures. However, it says lectures and conversations that require you to make sense of what's called unexpected or contradictory information are difficult for you. You're having difficulty understanding main ideas when you have to infer them. And the same thing with important details. You don't consistently understand when speakers are using language to emphasize, express agreement or disagreement, or convey intentions indirectly. Also, it says in the listening, you're having difficulty synthesizing information from separate parts of a conversation or lecture. Right? So we know some things that you need to work on there in the reading and the listening. Okay, in the speaking area, when you're speaking about familiar topics, you did better, it looks like, in the independent areas, and you did a lot worse in the integrated areas. So you need more work with integrated type topics. It says you can speak about personal experiences, but you are having some pronunciation problems. Also, your grammar and your vocabulary is somewhat limited and has errors. And sometimes, according to the score report, the grammar and vocabulary limitations are preventing you from fully expressing your ideas, but the IBT human raters can still understand what you're saying, which is good. Now, speaking about campus situations, you scored 1.5 to 2.0. It says you have difficulty speaking in English about information from conversations, newspaper articles, university publications. So you can talk about some of the key information, but you have limited vocabulary and grammar. Now, we've already seen this in the independent speaking tasks, and it looks like you're having more problems with pronunciation with this integrated task than you are with the independent task. It says problems with pronunciation make it difficult for listeners to understand you at times. Now, in terms of speaking about academic course content, you can do it, but you're having some trouble here. It says you include few relevant or accurate details. It means you're not including the required information from either the reading or the lecture or the conversation. It says it's difficult for listeners to understand you because of problems with pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary. It says you can respond generally to the question, but the amount of information is limited and the expression of your ideas is often vague and unclear. So that means you're probably having some problems with your listening. You're not hearing everything. All right, finally, let's go to writing. So the integrated, it looks like your integrated and independent writing skills are similar. You scored 2.5 to 3.5 in both of those areas. It says sometimes in your writing there is an important idea that's missing, or it's unclear, or it's inaccurate. Now they're also saying in your writing that it's not clear. You can't show what the connection is between the lecture and the reading passage. Remember that on the TOEFL, the reading passage typically for the integrated writing is presenting 3 key ideas. These are called points. Point 1, point 2, point 3. Now then the lecture, it has counterpoints to each of these points. And according to your score report, you're not showing the point, counterpoint, the reading, listening, point, counterpoint type information there. So you're not doing a good job, according to the score report, organizing your information. Now let's take a look at the independent writing task. Writing based on knowledge and experience. You express ideas, but your response has some weaknesses. You're not giving specific support and development for your main points. That means you're not using details. You're using generalizations really throughout your paper. It says it's also difficult to follow your ideas because of how you organize your essay or because of the language you use to connect your ideas. You also have grammatical mistakes and what's called vague or incorrect uses of words that make your writing difficult to understand. So these are some of the ideas, some of the things that the TOEFL is saying that you're having difficulty understanding. So the next question, of course, is how do you use my course? Now you noticed that as we went through the score report, there are a lot of problems you're having right now with vocabulary, pronunciation, and grammar. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you spend enough time focusing on the first 3 sections of my course. I recommend for month 1, focus on the vocabulary, pronunciation, and the grammar parts of my course. And that helps you improve, obviously, your pronunciation for the speaking part of the test. Also, your vocabulary and grammar becomes better, and that's important for the writing and the speaking parts of the test. And the vocabulary that you study will help you improve in all sections of the test. You see what I'm saying? So based on your score, you really need to go through everything. You need to focus on all of my lessons in all sections. Now once you finish the first month, the second month you can focus on the listening and the reading areas of my course. And this is also going to be very beneficial in terms of helping you improve your reading, your listening sections of the TOEFL, and also you'll do much better on the integrated speaking and integrated sections of the test. And then maybe in the 3rd and 4th month, or the 3rd month, depending on how quickly you can get through the information, you want to start with the writing and the speaking lessons and practice tests in my course. And little by little, you will be able to get better. Now right now you got a lot of problems, you got a lot of things that you need to solve. The main thing is pace yourself. Rome was not invented in a day, which means you will not be able to solve all these problems immediately. However, by working through the lessons in my 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT, you will develop more academic English proficiency. And the higher your English proficiency becomes, the fewer problems you will have on the TOEFL in the 4 sections of the test. Alright, anyway, thank you very much for contacting me. I hope that some of my information in this video has encouraged you, has informed you, has motivated you to work harder and to study consistently over an extended period of time to get the results that you seek.